Be blessed by the divine. May the whole world enjoy peace, prosperity, and happiness. Dear Sky Meditators, I heartily welcome all of you to the spiritual discourse in English organized by the World Community Service Center IT team. As we know, our Guru Yogiraj Vedatri Maharishi laid blueprint for world peace and gave us 14 principles of life, which is called Vedatrium for world peace. In that, one of the important principles is reformation of culture. To explain this in detail, we have our beloved senior professor C. Satyamurthy sir with us today. Sir worked in Department of Space for a period of 5 years under Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Then he worked in L&T Limited and later as Managing Director of Fab Machines Private Limited, Bangalore for 30 years. Sir completed his Sky Master course in the year 1989 and rendering his divine service for the past 32 years. He is the Managing Trustee of Bangalore Malleshwaram Sky Trust. He is presently developing a residential training institute called VETRI, Vedatri Educational Training and Research Institute at Hosur Tali Road, and it is affiliated to the World Community Service Center. I now invite our senior professor, C. Satyamurthy sir, to deliver his speech on the topic Reformation of Culture. Be blessed by the divine.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். ரமேஷ், இது தெரியுதுங்களா ஸ்கிரீன்?
Not yet, sir. We have not shared.
அதான் ஸ்கிரீன் ஷேரிங்.
Yeah, now it is coming, sir.
வருதுங்களா ஸ்கிரீன் ஷேரிங்? அதான் வரலன்னு பார்த்தேன் நானு. தட்ஸ் வை எனக்கு இங்க தெரியல.
No, this one image is coming. We have shared any PPT, sir?
Yeah, I'm trying to share the PPT. Please give me the screen sharing கொடுத்துட்டீங்களா?
Yeah, it is given, sir.
ஒரு நிமிஷம் இருங்க. ஸ்கிரீன் ஷேரிங்ல எனக்கு வர மாட்டேங்குது.
We just try again, sir.
Yeah, can I just go out and come again?
Yes, please, sir.
Maybe. Just wait. Leave the meeting. I'll come back again.
Okay, sir.
Sorry for the inconvenience caused. Be blessed by the divine. My pronouns to all those instrumental to bring up the Zoom and those who are sincerely running the Zoom and spreading the message of Swamiji around throughout the world, and those who are participating today in the Zoom. I thank once again to your parents, those who are instrumental to bringing up to this earth and then making you to learn Vedatriyam. Thank you very much. வாழ்க வளமுடன். Let me start. Majority of the people in the world are caught up in the routine family problems like job, money, house, upbringing children, and the unfulfilled desires like going around the world. I want to do this, do that, but I'm caught up in this place. So like this, there are many more which causes plenty of sufferings. Swamiji says, if they only think for a while on those problems, issues, pain and miseries in life, they can find solution and lead a trouble-free life. They tell the problem and they say no time to think. This is what Swamiji has experienced, and Swamiji therefore made the Vedatriyan principle of life. In Vedatriyan principle of life, there are 14 principles. Out of 14, we are going to talk the reformation of culture, the fifth principle in Vedatriyan principles of life. Why I have taken this fifth principle? Swamiji says, this principle comprises a set of values for the individuals. It comprises a set of values for the individuals. That is fivefold moral culture. He has added one more word in between, fivefold moral culture. So the rest 13 principles are for social or for the society at large. Therefore, let us understand and change our lifestyle to suit this fivefold moral culture and live and lead a blissful and happy life. Now, before going in detail, what is culture? Culture, in a simple meaning, it's a way of life characterized for a particular group of people, encompassing language, religion, social habits, music, art, etc., etc. Over and above that, the culture comprises or encompasses the religion, food, what we wear, how do we wear, what is our language, our marriage traditions, music, and what are all we believe, which is right and which is wrong. How do we sit? How do we sit in presence of our elders? How do we sit in front of them in an audience? How do we greet our visitors? How do we accommodate our guests? How we behave with our loved ones? And there are millions of other things. So basically, a culture is attitude, the beliefs, the language, customs, rituals, behavior, faith and religion, food, art, drama and music. All these things put together of a set of people called culture. So what and the United Nations did, this culture should be retained and maintained for a period of time. So for that, they made UNESCO, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. They signed a treaty, was adopted in UNESCO in 1972 to protect the monuments, the buildings, the sites, and cultures all over the world, different people. So to maintain that, the headquarters of the UNESCO is in Paris. And to maintain that, they celebrate Cultural Freedom Day. Why they celebrate the Cultural Freedom Day on the third Saturday of May every year? Third Saturday of May every year. You know, the free cultural movement is dedicated for creating and making the available art and allowing the rest of the people around the world to use freely, to study and distribute and improve the work of others. Very important point in this. There should not be any copyright of the cultures of the people all over the world. Everyone should use in a fair use. And the media also should be allowed to use without any copyrights. So that is the motive of the Cultural Freedom Day. Third Saturday on every May we celebrate every year. So why culture is important? See, culture provides very important social and economic benefits. Social and economic benefits. With improved learning and health, increases tolerance and opportunities to come together with others. Culture enhances our quality of life. Please understand, culture enhances our quality of life and increases overall well-being for both individual and the communities. I just give you a small example why the culture is important. I'm just giving an example of all over the world and then in India, and we come back to South India. See, a company like TVS, TVS, this chairman and managing director in Economic Times, 12th December 2003, he just wrote the article, Reviving the Old TVS Culture. In 1960s, you see the TVS culture. And today with TQM every day, total quality management every day. In 1980s, Sri Venu Srinivasan started in full-time work. And in 1990, there was a big surge or rough weather in the automobile industry. So he started learning the culture, the manufacturing culture, the structure of the organization, the culture of the people, the process, all these things he studied. He has taken advices from Japan, UK, USA, and implemented the TQC and moved to the countries and got all their technologies. And today, you can just see the TVS culture. It is the #1 moped manufacturing companies in our country. So by started learning the culture of the people, the structure of the organization process, and today you can just imagine how the TVS has grown up. So the economically, it helped our country to grow. Now we have understood the culture, why the culture is required. Now why a reformation is required? Reformation means making change of something with the intention of setting it back on the right path. And the reformation is the act of making an improvement, especially by changing a person's behavior. Very important. The reformation, Swamiji says, is especially by changing a personal behavior. So thereby, social and religious reform movements arose among all the communities of the Indian people. And today you can see the abolition of caste, the untouchability, the sati, the child marriages, social inequalities, and the literacy, all are improved in our country. There are many, many social reformers. India is blessed with numerous social workers who have dedicated their whole life to the upliftment of the better and oppressed society, sections of the society. So the social reformers are like us, a common man, and they just worked without expecting anything in return. So in any society, there are different types of people with a different caste, religion, color, gender, and different beliefs. The social reformers are likely to resolve the society and live without discrimination. The ideal situation is considered when there are equally freedom and brotherhood in the society. Now you all know the upper class people exploiting the lower class people, the white exploiting the black, men will exploit women. All these people have faith in one religion, describes as other religion as weak or wrong, and call their own religion is superior. So thereby the social reformers, Sambhavami Yuge Yuge, as and when the Adharma arises, the nature, the Almighty God in the name of social reformers, they come and look at the Swamiji is a cycle social reformer. A lot of people like Vivekananda, many people around the world. Now let us see the fivefold moral culture. The first moral culture. Each person must live by their earnings made through his or her own mental or physical labor. the physical and mental skills, whatever we gain up to our age of 23, all from the society. Education given by the society, health, we build our body by eating food to the whatever the frame you feel like and whatever the field you are likely to work. So accordingly, we got physical and mental skills. So all those things, the society has not documented everything, and they all are undocumented. They gave us like a grant or an advance or a loan. Come on, gentlemen, use it with your own mental and physical skills. You work and repay whatever you get it from this society. You got it from this society. So that is what we call it as dues to the society. So this due has to be returned back to the society. Thereby, the culture, one will earn money for his living with his physical and mental labor only. That is what in Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 in verse 47 it says, Karmanyam adhikaraste ma palesho kadachana. Action alone is in your control, not the result. So let not your motive be the fruit of action, nor should you keep the company of inaction. Do your karma, I will give you the result. Action is human, the result is divine. If this is not understood, people, they don't put their physical and mental labor in producing the goods, cultivating the labor, cultivating the land, producing the goods, and all these things they've forgotten or not being given properly by the society to the individuals. So what in many countries today we can see fighting, they want to have all the rights. They don't want to produce goods. They don't want to work. They want only the power. So like, the countries like Turkey, Syria, Iraq, Yemen, you can see there are about 71 million people are displaced because of this. They don't want to work. So what happened today? People are displaced. Millions of people are refugees. There are about 35 lakh people or asylum seekers all over the world. The children suffer, the human community suffers. Out of the refugees, 1 in 2 are children. They are going to be the pillars of their country, but they don't have proper education and proper health, only because they don't earn. A very few people. So that is what causes problem. So money to work for money will result in disappointment, dissatisfaction, conflict, and hurt. So what one should do is, for not doing work at the proper age, sitting idle, whiling away the time, will result in 4 ways: physical and mental illness, burden to the family, burden to the society, and all the dues he has accumulated over a period of time without putting his efforts to earn money with his physical and mental labor, the dues getting accumulated. The dues are getting passed on to the next generation. So the problems, so this generation, I have to pay back my dues. All my parents and heredity, they sold all our properties. I am penniless, so I like to work hard. All these things, physical and mental tortures, is only because of this. So the summary is, animals do not have the capacity to produce foodstuff, and when they need to satisfy the hunger, they don't know to plow the land. They don't know to produce food. Just look at the carnivorous animals and their behavior when they are hungry. Torture other living being, number 1. Kill it, number 2. And 3, violently claiming their body as food and destroying its freedom to live. This is what the animals they do, carnivorous animals, when they feel hungry. When a human being commits the above deeds, it becomes a sinful act or an imprint. To avoid committing these 4 offenses, the body and mind needs a training to live by his own earnings made through physical and mental labor. Then only he can live and lead a divine life. Why it comes? Sir, then why people will ask, why it is all happening? Swamiji very clearly says, the genetic center of carnivorous animals have the 4 imprints. The 4, they commit these 4 crimes: torturing, killing, violently taking their food, body as food, and destroying the freedom to live. So all that imprints gone to their genetic center. Man has evolved from the animal ancestors. So we all that imprints are transferred to us through DNA. Now these 4 crimes human beings are also having in their genetic center. So the genetic center determines the way we lead our lives all over the world. You can see this becomes natural on all the human beings, and it is passed on from the hereditary to the individuals. So all over the world, the criminal, you can just see all over the world, the criminal codes and laws are based on 4 crimes, cause pain and sufferings to living beings. So that is why Swamiji has given this 5-fold moral culture. So we'll move on to the second of the 5-fold moral culture. It says, one's method of living should not cause any suffering to anybody, sufferings to the body or mind of any person. Sorry. One's method of living should not cause any suffering to body or mind of any person. So let's see. Man creates all the pain and miseries based on the animal imprint. I'm not going in detail, but it's going what are prevailing the major problems today: smoking and drinking. It impacts drinking of the family on family life, can include substantial mental health problems for the rest of the family members, such as anxiety, fear, depression. How I am going to take care of my children? So the financial cost of the purchase of alcohol and drugs, and the treatment subsequently when they fall sick, as well as the loss of wages, can leave the rest of the family members as destitutes. Today you can see the drug addiction are the college students. And today you can see women conceived and carrying, women smoking and drinking. All these things creates pain and miseries for the human beings, and this should be understood. And we should try to help to avoid such habits. And we should promote a lot of things, the media. Today we can see many people, the youngsters coming to our centers with all these problems, like, I'm not able to stop smoking, drinking, addiction. Parents coming and just giving us. So in at least in every end of our meditation, we must bless all those people to overcome the pain and miseries of smoking and drinking. And we must also, the governments, those who promote, they produce the smoking and drinking, all these things should be avoided. We must bless. Thought is our powerful tool. Let us use the thought force and see that the smoking and drinking is totally eliminated from the society to bring a peace and happy in every individual's life. And the alcohol is result in social and economical problems quickly lead to absence, work accidents, productivity, unemployment. And for children can suffer from the fatal alcohol spectrum disorders. When a mother drinks during pregnancy, after birth, the parental drinking can lead to a child abuse and numerous other impacts on the child's social and physiological and economic environment. The financial cost of the alcohol purchase and the medical treatment, as well as lot of wages, can lead family members. And today in India, the statistical data says 33% of abusing husbands were using alcohol. The violence in the family between husband and wife, between partners, 33% in India. The social cost of treatment, prevention, research, law enforcement, lost productivity, and such measures of years and quality of life is lost. So that is why Swamiji has added this second principle. And what we should not do it. Let us quickly go through it. Growing tobacco. We must educate. Why do we grow tobacco? There are various other eatables, food to support for a healthy and prosperous life. Why people make grow tobacco? By using tobacco, they make actually the benefits of tobacco is very, very small. But making BDs and cigarettes out of the tobacco leaves, how many children and how many people are suffering primary and secondary lung diseases? The palm wine, known as toddy, and liquor. Why do we produce? So do not do it. When you get an opportunity, don't do it. Gossiping and backbiting. People and their culture and their lifestyle. Don't gossip and backbite. Adulteration in food. Do not do it. As a Sky practitioners, we should never encourage these things. Money lending is a sinful act. If you want to lend a money, it should be just 2% more than the RBI norms, which is accepted and accepted by all the individuals. Not more than that. That 24, 36% is a sinful act. Pornography and genetically modified food. All these things we should not practice it. So we'll move on to the third in the fivefold moral culture. In that, Swamiji very clearly says, one should not kill any living being for food. Killing animals for food. The Leo Tolstoy, the greatest philosophers and thinkers, they say, I liked it. A man can live and be healthy without killing animals for food. Therefore, if he eats meat, he participates in taking animal life merely for the sake of his appetite. And to act is so immoral. So killing the beef, growing the bulls and things, cutting and shooting the birds. Look at the Spain, there are people, in the name of enjoyment. Lots of people around the stadium watching the bull being tortured. They throw arrows on their back. Slowly the bull kills and it used for the food. All these things to be avoided. Where is kindness and compassion? I just tell you a simple thing. Many people have their pets. If their pet is happened for a small injury or just meet with an accident, they go to the pet shop and then or veterinary doctor, do all those things. They file a suit on the person who is responsible for the accident. After doing all those things, they go to a hotel and eat the birds, goat, beef, fish. Where is kindness? Where is compassion? It is for your own pet animal you look at it. Then what about the rest of the animals? So only when we can become a non-violent towards all lives, we have learned to live well with others. As long as man continues to be the ruthless destroyer of the lower living beings, he will never know the health or peace. For as long as men massacre animals, they will kill each other. Indeed, who sow the seed of murder and pain cannot reap joy and love. Let us try to understand the concept. You know what happens? No, when I came to Swamiji, only I understood the concept of the universal magnetic field. And how, when in Western culture, they kill millions of birds, millions and millions of animals every day. When you kill an animal, the animal wants to survive. The fight and flight hormone, adrenal dumping, and many other things, many other hormones are getting dumped. For its survival, the cocktail of chemicals become a poison that is called morbid. See, you can see life of an Eskimo in 18th century, 35 years. Why? Because they eat only red meat. Their lifespan was only 35 years. Well, in India, today is about 68 years of our lifespan. Eskimo also having B positive and O positive blood. Why their lifespan is less? And today in 20th century, we all gone there to North Pole and started doing some research, and we, in a controlled atmosphere, we started giving them the vegetables and fruits. Now their average lifespan is increased to 50 years. Why? Because they are now parallelly eating fruits and vegetables. Their lifespan is increased. They pay all that scientists, they say today, the morbid poison becomes a residue in the meat, we buy it. So the morbid poison is responsible. You see the dictionary, MORBID, morbid poison means unhealthy, gruesome, horrible and unwholesome. When I came to Swamiji, why even the Western culture, they are unable to remove the morbidity, the morbid from the meat, the red meat. Why? Because they are trying many sources, they could not do it. In the name of killing the cultural, and then saying this and that, praying to God, and then cut the animal, still it remains. Why? Because all animals live in instinct. If you have a pet, you go to your job, while returning back, the dog, it need not see you coming back home. When just it lay, oh, my boss is coming, it need not see. With an instinct, it understands. Now the same thing you apply here. When a butcher lifts the goat, when buys a goat, what is the weight, how much I can gain? So that animal instantaneously understands, oh, it instinct, oh, this man is going to cut my throat, slit my throat. So it's the morbid, the cocktail of chemicals started, and the morbid poison just goes in the blood, settles down in the flesh. So we buy morbid poison. And whenever somebody takes the animal for a butchery shop, in the butchery place, there the hue and cry of the animals remains. The animal can definitely listen to those hue and cry in the universal magnetic field. So it starts producing the morbid poison. So this is how we suffer today. The cardiovascular diseases and cancer is the highest death in all over the world. Harvard Public School of Health says. red meat is responsible for 1/10 of early deaths, and red meat is responsible for the type 2 diabetes. Then why do we kill? And today, over and above that, I'll quickly go through it, the world hunger. How many people are starving in 2019? The statistical data says 821 million people wanting food. They are starving. World Hunger Day. Today they say 824 millions, and a child dies from hunger every 10 seconds. You just count 10 seconds, one child is dead because food is not available. Look at it. Then how to solve the problem? Change your lifestyle. Reformation is required. Stop killing the animals. So you don't need to feed the grains whatever we produce. Whatever the grains we produce all over the world, 70% goes for the animal feed. Feed it to the animal, kill it, and they are all eating the meat. So the 70% of the grains produced in the world, if you use it, then you don't need to produce or extend your agricultural land. What WHO says, in 2050, whatever the population may be in the world, we can cater with grains. Everyone stop killing the animals. So no, or the total percentage of grains what human being consumes, they say it is only 2%. Look at 70% to the animal, 2% to the human beings, or we are consuming it. So you can change by not killing, following the third principle of the fivefold moral culture. We'll move on to the fourth principle in the fivefold moral culture. Have the utmost respect for the possession and freedom of others and help to protect them. One must have the utmost respect for the possessions and freedom of others and help to protect them. The possession freedom, the growing tendency of exploiting and suffering others in various forms. Oh my God, the food and work, the development of knowledge. We never allow, see, the development of knowledge, Swamiji says, is required for without development of knowledge, you cannot realize self or God. So the development of knowledge is the basic right of every individual. And the freedom to develop their knowledge to realize self, we stop it by various means. Peace and happiness of self and others, manufacturing, selling, the war goods, arms and ammunitions, the peace and happiness, every now and then, it's gone. The freedom, the next minute if a bomb, they drop a bomb, the people around, they just run out of their house, leaving all their properties, their possessions, their freedom to live as. They run away from their country to the next country. It's an asylum seekers. Why? It is because our tendency for exploiting and suffering in various forms, the peace and happiness of others, freedom to live, freedom to talk, and freedom to write. Slowly we are getting it back. So that is why the reformation of culture is required. The religious practices. We say our religion is good, your religion is high and low. We stop people, the religious practices. I don't need to explain, you all understand today in our own culture how it is all happening. Human should not enter into the temple and this, all these things, the religious practices. The marriages, we don't allow the younger generation to choose their life partner with our religious practices, caste, religion, we don't allow them. So the suffering takes place, the freedom to choose their life partner is lost. Who has to start that? We, the Vedatrians, who understood the problems. We only should allow them to participate in their marriages, choose their partners, and living in freedom, cheating and many others. So we'll move on to the fifth point in the five-fold moral culture. One must cultivate loving kindness and strive to alleviate the miseries of others to the extent possible. We say God is love and love is God. Selfishness, greed, ego, vanity, pride, hatred. It contracts the heart and stands in the way of developing universal love. We contract our heart. We don't have magnanimity. So the only true religion is the religion of love, the religion of heart. Feel for others as you feel for yourself. When you are in distress, when you need some help, when you need your family members for any help. Wherever there is a distress, share what you have and alleviate and the human sufferings wherever it is possible. That's why Swamiji says, and all over our culture, in our dharma, they say there were 10% of one's earning to be given. But Swamiji says, do charity amounting at least 1% of your income, dharma or dan, towards the welfare and development of the society and those who are in need and those who are suffering. So those days, Swamiji made this five-fold culture. This five-fold culture, each person must live by the earnings made through his or her own mental or physical labor. One's method of living should not cause any suffering to the body or mind of any person. And the three, one should not kill any living beings for food. One must have utmost respect to the possessions and freedom of others and help to protect them. And the fifth one is, one must cultivate loving kindness and strive to alleviate their miseries of others to the extent possible. So Swamiji now made that five-fold culture to two-fold culture. He has simplified it, saying, in my lifetime, I will not harm anyone either physically or mentally. All that 4 points have come in the first point itself. And the fifth point is lies in as far as possible, I will render all help to those who are in need of it. So Swamiji has still simplified from the five-fold culture to two-fold culture. I will come to an end. The reformation of culture, Vethathiri Maharishi is credited for building the temple of consciousness, first of its kind in the world. There has been many temples built in the name of God throughout the world, but never has been an effort in the past to create a temple of consciousness. And he has made one world religion, the world order of holistic unity. Look at it. When Bharadiyar realized this truth, he became a part of the tradition developed by Thiruvalluvar, Tirumular, Tayumanava, and Ramalinga Vallalar. When Vethathiri Maharishi, in one of his poems, claimed, let us not fear, let us boldly declare consciousness is God. We see the same tradition getting extended throughout Vethathiri Maharishi to reach the contemporary society. So he is a true reformer. Summary, Swamiji Vethathiri Maharishi suggested that all adults and thinkers should endeavor to realize the benefits of this five-fold moral culture and begin to sincerely follow it in life. End of all the meditations in all centers. We were chanting the fivefold moral culture. Now it is twofold moral culture. Must be said loudly by all the participants. Let the intellectual and social leaders join. Look into them carefully and implement them for the overall well-being of the society. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, wisdom, and peace. Be blessed by the divine. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். Thank you very much for the excellent speech, sir. You have pointed out well that our culture will improve the overall value of one's life, and change of personal behavior is needed for the social betterment. So cultural reform is needed. That is why our Guru gave us fivefold moral culture, which was beautifully explained by our professor today. And dear Sky meditators, now the forum is open for discussions. Please click the raise hand button in your Zoom app to ask your questions. While you prepare for your questions, we have few important announcements to make. Please emphasize all your near and dear ones to learn and practice Kayakalpa Yoga. You can easily learn Kayakalpa Yoga from the safety of your own home. Please visit kayakalpayoga.edu.in or download the Android application. And as you know, our World Community Service Center has begun teaching the Vedatriyam Yoga via online. Please visit the website to know in detail. And our monthly journal Anboli is also available in the Android application. Please download the Anboli app from the Android Play Store and get access to the premium content of our Guru speeches at nominal subscription. We are daily uploading rare audios and videos of our Guru in Anboli app. Today we have uploaded rare speech of Swamiji on the topic analysis of thought. Connect with us on Facebook and YouTube at Sky Yoga TV to listen to all the past speeches of our beloved professors for free. As our professor said today, Karma Yoga principles of Vedatriyam suggest donating 1% of our income to the good causes of society. You get more than what you pay as good karma. So we invite you to donate to the World Community Service Center either through the Anboli app or through our official website vedatri.edu.in. Section 80G income tax exemption are available for these donations. And dear friends, if you have any query, please click the raise hand button to ask any sort of questions to our professor.
Ramesh, you are seeing the Ramesh?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Now the slides are seen.
1 minute, sir. Yeah, now it is coming, sir.
Okay. There is some issue. Okay.
The name with the iPhone, you please unmute yourself and ask your question, sir.
I'm calling from Kochi. My name is Arunidhi Lal Mohan. So
Lal Mohan, be blessed by the divine.
Be blessed by the divine. This fivefold moral culture should be part of our education curriculum. So far, it does not really happen. Humankind as a whole needs a lot of change. So that's why probably this pandemic is there all over the world. So we call it as a highly civilized society. But it has to become civilized. So that's why nature itself has given us this pressure of making us a lot of change in the society in the form of this pandemic. How do we bring this education of fivefold moral culture as part of our educational curriculum? This is the need of the hour. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Lal Mohan.
Sir, can you repeat your question, sir? What exactly you want?
He just said the fivefold moral culture, one should practice it.
Okay.
Yeah, fivefold moral culture should have become part of our education curriculum. The purpose of education itself, as Swamiji has said, is to make human beings a real human being. So it does not really happen so far. So that's why all the public society is there all over the world. And because of this deficiency in the human society, there is the nature itself is giving the pressure to the human beings to affect the change by giving us this coronavirus pandemic. So at least now we should all join together to make a change in the society by bringing in this education, this fivefold moral culture as part of the education culture. How do we make this happen? That's what I'm asking.
So that is, now slowly you can see all the 13 universities. We have an understanding. People are studying diploma, degree, and the MPhil and doctorate. So slowly, if every individual, our efforts by our thought and our action of getting these yoga for human excellence, all these things are inculcated in the fivefold, the 14 principles of Vedatriyam in the education curriculum. Slowly, it will definitely come. If we all put an effort, we see it is coming. Many look at the 13 universities affiliated to us, and then we are doing a wonderful job. Slowly, it will definitely come. Let us all bless for that thing to happen.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Geeta Bai, ma'am, please unmute yourself.
ಬಾಳ್ಗೆ ಸಮೃದ್ಧಿಯೊಂದಿಗೆ ಸರ್. Sir, it is an excellent explanation regarding this reformation of culture is being concerned. Every culture is aimed for, what to say, mukti or salvation, whatever it is being, aimed for. Why this brutal, practice of slaughtering or cutting the animals for the food is being so much dominated in the society, so that in return we are experiencing this curse and all in the form of all this, present conditions are concerned, sir.
Yes. See, what Swamiji says, it is all, you can see the slide, the summary is, we all come from the animal world. See, all these 4 qualities we have inculcated from the animal kingdom. See, what Swamiji very clearly says, the genetic center of the carnivorous animals. So that is just moved on to our genetic center through our ancestors, animal ancestors. Then these 4 crimes we are also started following. There was no person to properly educate. So if the education was missing, so Swamiji look at it, this education is needed. That is why he made these 14 principles of Vedatriyam, out of which the fivefold moral culture is only for the human beings. Unless we practice it, you cannot eliminate all these things. So we Vedatriyans, we must, in every day, every walks of our life, we must think and bless the entire world to overcome all the pain and miseries. That's the only thing we can do it. Proper education. Be blessed by the divine.
Be blessed by the divine. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for patiently answering our questions and sharing your insights and divine thoughts on the topic reformation of culture. Dear Sky Meditators, let us all put our minds together to thank our professor. Come to meditation position and keep your mind at Duriya Chakra. Senior Professor C. Satyamurthy sir, be blessed by the divine. His good health, be blessed by the divine. His loving family, be blessed by the divine. His divine service, be blessed by the divine. We wholeheartedly thank all the persons who have generously donated to the World Community Service Center yesterday. Your generous donations will go a long way in helping us to serve the society. May you all enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, peace, prosperity, and wisdom. Be blessed by the divine. We are happy to bring the following online programs live from All Temple of Consciousness tomorrow. Morning 6 a.m. exercises in Tamil, 7 a.m. 9 center meditation in Tamil, 7:30 a.m. 9 center meditation in English. By 11 a.m. there's a speech in Tamil on the topic Dinasari Valvil Mayakka Nilai by Professor Muthu from Qatar. Evening 6 p.m. Duryatita meditation in Tamil, 7:30 p.m. Duryatita meditation in English, and tomorrow 7:55 p.m. there's a speech in English on the topic Paripurna Yoga by Senior Professor G. Balachandra sir from Alyar. Please share the program invite with your friends and relatives. Let everyone take part in this spiritual journey and get benefited. We thank our beloved President Padma Shri Arvind S.K. Mailanandan sir for his leadership and guidance. See you all tomorrow again with another interesting session. Till then, be safe. Practice our Kundalini Yoga. This is Ramesh from the Alyar World Community Service Center IT team. Be blessed by the divine. Good night.